I'm building a machine that turns plastic water bottles into 3D printer filament, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to build it with all the parts you need so that you can build it at home too. And once we get the machine working, I'll show you how to turn water bottles into filament and print with them. Last year I built part 1 of the machine, and now that there's an updated part 2 of the machine, I'm gonna build it. There are 4 main parts to the machine that you'll need to assemble: the puller, the power supply, the thermocontroller, and the cutter. I got this wooden plank, I 3D printed all these parts for the build, and then I got all the materials needed to start building the project. The materials you need are a drill with a 1.5mm drill bit, a 0.4mm nozzle, and you'll use a 1.5mm drill bit to drill a hole in it so the filament can stretch through properly. You'll need a heat block, this ceramic heater, 12V, 40 watts, a metal bracket to secure the nozzle and heat block in place, a power supply, you'll want to get a 12V 10A 120 watts, some wire to connect the power supply to all the other parts so that your machine can work. This W1209 thermocontroller, you'll need a 12V one with working temperature up to 500 degrees Celsius. This resistor leg that you'll use for the thermocontroller, this thermistor sensor that you put into the heat block and it sends temperature to the W1209 through the resistor. These M3 screws, this motor that drives the spool for winding the finished PET filament, you'll need a 12V 7 RPM DC motor, M2 hex nut for the puller, a plug, preferably with a switch so you don't have to incorporate one yourself and it'll save time, a digital caliper to read the sizing of some parts, a PWM regulator 12V 5A that'll control the engine speed, 2 micro limit switch pieces with levers, and a few other screws for assembly. And this is optional, but you'll probably want to get a soldering kit so you can melt the wires together with ease. For the cutter, all you'll need is a 9mm X-Acto knife blade and a 3D printed part to add the blade into, but alternatively you can build the cutter with a tiny geared 12V 300 RPM DC motor, these M8 screws, threaded rods, and 2 micro switch pieces to control the height of the cutter blade. It's really up to you whether you want to build this cutter or print this cutter. I added a link to all the STL files for the parts you need to print and links for all the materials you need to buy in my Amazon shop in the caption. So with all the parts I needed to get started, I began the first step to building the machine. I was very excited about my pink drill, but I got straight to work. I started by securing 4 3D printed legs onto the board. And then I took my power supply, the 12V 10A 120 watts one, and I secured it